Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today I want to answer a question that was given to me by a group of young leaders. I was sitting around with them and we were talking about leadership and leadership development. And one of the guys asked me, Mac, who's had the biggest impact on your life? So I'm going to share that today, but I'm going to also share 5 big impacts that mentoring can have on the life of a young leader. So when I was in seminary, Dallas Theological Seminary years ago, 26 years old, and I met this pastor. His name was Knox. Cindy and I were attending his church. We got to know him a little bit, and he invited me into his life. In fact, Cindy and I moved into their small garage apartment. We lived there for probably 2 years. So, I got to know him and his family really, really well. And this guy had a huge impact on me in so many ways. And as I think about it, you know, the amazing thing is this. I only knew him for 3 years. I was in his life for 3 years. But in those 3 years, the impact he had on me is lasting 30 years later. And that's the power of mentoring. So I want to share with you today five things he did with me that had a major impact. Number one is he took a chance on me. He took a chance on me. I was 27 years old, and after he got to know me, he hired me as his small group pastor. Now, here's the funny thing. I'd never even led a small group at this point, and I became the small group pastor of this church. And so he took a huge chance on me. And he mentored me, coached me through it, was patient with me, and I'll never forget that I couldn't believe that he allowed me to have that position. So as you think about the people around you, who is it that you need to take a chance on? The second thing that he did with me is he shaped the way I saw myself. Totally changed the way I saw myself. I didn't see myself as a leader at all. And as I began to spend time with him, I remember we would meet in his office. And we would sit there and I would ask him leadership questions. And after a few months, I would ask him a question and he would always answer it. But after a few months, he would look at me and go, that's a really good question. I don't know. What do you think? You're the expert. And he began to shape the way I saw myself. And I remember one time he pulled me into his office and he shared his 20-year vision with me. And he said, I want to share this 20-year vision with you because I want you by my side all the way through this journey. I was blown away that he had that much belief in me. So it changed the way I saw myself. The third thing that had the big impact on me is he didn't get frustrated with my failure. It was an older church, and there was a lot of older people, and I made a lot of mistakes because I was a rookie pastor, And he was always there to defend me. He was always there to protect me and help me learn from my mistakes, never frustrated with it. I would say the fourth thing he did for me was he modeled strong leadership. I cannot tell you how many times I went riding around in his car, going to different restaurants with him as he met with different leaders. He would pull me into meetings that I had no business being in. I hadn't earned my way there yet, But he brought me in, and I would watch him make decisions. I would watch him deal with difficult people. We had a guy on our staff one time. This guy was a pain. And I watched him, up close and personal, how he dealt with this guy with grace and truth. Left a huge impact on me. And so, last thing. The thing that had such a big impact on me is he demonstrated a reproducible way to develop leaders. Now, I would say he probably didn't do it on purpose, but that was the impact. I saw the way he developed me, and 30 years later, that's the way I develop people. In fact, I was mentoring a young leader recently, and we sat down and I said, hey, I want to share with you what I'm going to do with you, why I'm going to do it this way, because not only do I want you to grow as a leader, I want you to be a reproducer. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do what I do, because I learned from Knox to make sure when you're developing a leader, give them a reproducible process so they can develop others. So those are 5 ways that mentoring had a huge impact on my life. 5 things you can take, and as you begin to work with young leaders, these are things you can do with them to leave an impact on their life as well. So hey, thanks for joining me today. And I would love for you to leave a comment below. How has mentoring left an impact on your life? And then also, if you got questions about leadership development, leave those in the comments below as well, because I'd love to make a video on that question as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.